know if I'm here. Happy Sunday, Kim Blue. Can you hear me? Can you hear me good? Let me know if you can hear me good. And all that good stuff. It's my little strands of hair. Let me know if you can hear me. We did just do a testing, so hopefully this is all right. Can you hear me? Give me a thumbs up or one in the chat, as they say. Hey, one in the chat. You can hear me. It's an interesting delay on StreamYards. Yes, can you turn the volume up slightly? Sure. That's my volume. I can talk louder if you do. Does that sound crazy if I do that? If I elevate my voice? I'm looking on here. I don't see myself live over here. It's interesting. Okay, so can you hear me now? Is it better? This is really delayed. My voice sounds low. Okay. Maybe it's my music. Is my music over? Can you hear my music? Is my music doing too much over my voice? Is that why? I wonder what changed from the testing to now. That's interesting. Yeah, I can hear you. Okay. Awesome. So good. So now you can hear me. Awesome, 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 awesome. Welcome, everyone. I am MLJ, or My Lot Journey, MLJ for short. Also known, or better known as Kiki. And you can say, Kiki, do you love me if you want to? That's up to you. But my name is Kiki Askew, and I am a licensed cosmetologist and now a full time loctician. So hence why my name is My Lock Journey. I have locks, sister locks to be exact, and I primarily do locks now. Hence me being a 100% or full time now loctician. But for over 20 years, I've been a licensed cosmetologist, and that is cosmetology is my jam. Um, Down to women hair, men hair, um, any kind of background in regards to ethnicity. Hair is hair, no matter if you're black, white, Asian, Spanish, or anything in between there. You are definitely, um, hair texture is just definitely hair texture. So I want to go ahead and clear that up, and you'll probably hear me say that in a few of the streams. Is hair, and hair texture is hair texture. And that's important for us to know because a lot of times when we go back into what we're used to growing up and our ancestors and things of that nature, when you get into colorism and all of that, you get into hairism as well. And people think that good hair, and all of these things. And so, to be honest, the same textures that you might have on your head, a Caucasian can have on their head, an Asian can have on their head. Um, someone with a Latinx, or Spanish descent can have on their head. And so I just want to clear that up right now. So you already know what's going on with that. So hence we're talking about the ABCs and the 1, 2, 3, 4s of hair texture. So want to give a good shout out to my mod, my MV concierge, as I call them now. And you are in the Envious Hair Lounge. And my Envy concierge, aka my mods, is one Kim Blue 1180 and also Shell Bill for you. So I thank y'all so much for being here for me and holding me down through this new thing that I'm trying to do, which is the stream. I've been in these Twitch streets for a while, but now I'm trying to get out here and um, share my knowledge and my expertise with my community so you guys can be more empowered. And so I want to give a shout out to the people who are in the stream, any lurkers that are in the stream. Thank you for just stopping in and listening. You don't have to speak. You don't have to say anything. But if you do, it will really make me happy so I can shout you out. And I thank you so much for coming. I see Woo in the chat. Thank you, girl. Hey, girl. Thank you for coming in. She is a mod extraordinaire as well. And so she always shows me love when I come in the streams that she mods. So thank you, girl, for coming through and showing support. I appreciate you. So without further ado, we will get into this thing. I got some slides going, so y'all bear with me. This is my first time streaming out of StreamYards. So I'm going to put myself in the corner. I'm going to add my slides because this is what my Envy concierge, they hook me up. They put me on and they tell me what I need to be doing. So shouts out to Kim Blue 1180, who actually is a streamer. Okay, so y'all follow her, please, 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 because she got the gems over there, and she is on Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays at 8 a.m. for only an hour. I'm begging her to come on a little longer, but we're just gonna pray the strength of the Lord on that and see what He has going on for us. So here we are. The ABCs and 1, 2, 3, 4s of hair textures. And so what made me decide to talk about this is because we actually have so much that has transpired within this decade, and even more than that, longer than that. But I'm gonna just talk about this decade where we actually have, when we talk about the young ladies, and I'm gonna try to lean more into the ladies right now. I show love to the men too. I love y'all. Y'all my boos. But right now I'm going to talk to the ladies, okay? And so since we've went through this natural process, a lot of people have been natural 20, 30, 40 years. But there's some that are, I'm talking to the ones that have within a decade or maybe the last 15 years that have went natural. And especially this last decade where we've talked about, where we've went natural and we've start hearing people say, I got 3C hair, I got 4C hair, I got 2B, 3B, that kind of thing. And so I know the first time I heard it, I'm not gonna lie, I was like, I ain't receiving that. As a cosmetologist, I'm not receiving that. Don't come into my salon talking about what texture for this, 3, that. I ain't with it. I don't want to hear it. And so the reason why I actually was like that was because in cosmetology, we actually learn a different way, and it's really standard, but at the same time, I really, over the time, once I start working more with naturalistas, because like I said, I'm a cosmetologist first, so I did relaxers. I've done all types of ethnicities. Hair is hair. I can cut any type of hair. I don't care if you're black, white, Asian, Spanish. It does not matter to me. I can cut your hair. I can color your hair. It doesn't. I don't get caught up in that. And so I was over in that. But when you get into really stepping into being a naturalista, where you're like transitioning from relaxer to natural, or you're just natural and then you're trying to figure out what to do, what products to use on your hair. Should you straighten it? Should you not? After you're natural, when it comes down to the straighteners that's out there, all of these things play a factor. And so, as a consumer, I had to check myself because I'm a hairstylist, but at the same time, I'm a consumer as well. I had to check myself because I went natural, And I knew what to do for me because I was actually a cosmetologist and I knew textures. But for someone who didn't go to cosmetology school, what would they know? So, um, thanks Kim for the compliment. I appreciate it. And so for me, I felt like I needed to really research and really see what these numbers and ABCs and one, two, three, fours of hair really meant. And so where it came from was Oprah's hairstylist, and he actually created a whole format for people to understand what hair textures are, so they can know where they fit. And then when it's time to communicate with a hairstylist who maybe needs to open up they need to open up their mind, they can actually relay that number to them. And so that's where the importance of this ABC and one, two, three, fours come from. So that's what we'll be talking about today. Wu says, I wanted to get locks, but my beautician said it wouldn't be any good for me. Oh, well, she has, first of all, as your hairstylist, she knows best. She's been rocking with your hair for a very long time. And a lot of times, if you're not a candidate, a lot of times it could be your lifestyle, it could be your hair texture, um, it could be any type of medications, it could be anything. It could play some certain things play a factor. But for the most part, it depends on what type of locks as well. And we'll talk about that later in the different styles or the different types of locks. You might not fall into a traditional lock. Maybe you need an interlock, you know what I mean? Because if your hair is a softer texture or a wavier texture or a looser curl pattern, um, twisting it takes a long time to lock. An interlocking process can actually create a more permanent or shall I say a more structured, firmer lock that can eventually mature into a real lock later on. And that's where I was, so I'll talk about that as well, what hair texture I fall into and how it took me 2.5 years to lock my hair. But I'm interlocked. I don't think I would have made it through traditional. It would have took a very long time to lock. So um, we got Wu says that's because my iron is low and my hair comes out. Okay. So when you're talking about that, I want to definitely address that about the if you're talking about the flat iron, no matter, and then I'm gonna get into the textures. Unfortunately, no matter how you dice it when it comes down to your flat iron or blowing out, heat is heat, and our hair changes. There's a physical change and a chemical change when it comes down to straightening. And so the physical change falls into water, or shall I say, instead of saying water, I'll say heat and cold. So you have heat, which could be a blow dryer, flat iron, things of that nature. Water, which could be hot water or cold water. And that's what will do it to where, like, say, for example, you got curls in your hair, you done got a roller set or whatever, and then you go and you shampoo it out. Now your hair is straight, right? No more curls. That's a physical change. If you decided you wanted to, hey, I got curls in my hair and I just want to blow it out straight, that's a physical change. If you decided I got curls in my hair and I don't want them anymore and I want to flat iron it, that's a physical change. Chemical change goes into like the relaxers. I chemically change my hair with a relaxer. I chemically change my hair with hair color. Does that make sense? Or a Brazilian treatment, blowout treatment, or whatever. There's other chemicals that's out there for that. So you have all that going on. And so that creates some form of change, and it can lead to a permanent change in regards to, you could have had curly hair and now you go from curly to wavy to eventually straight. No matter if you shampoo it or anything like that, you can't get that curl pattern back. Hence, ladies who actually get um, ex- protective styles, like say for example sew-ins, and they get that leave out. I don't know if anybody's ever done that, where they actually, you get, back in the day I used to, you get the tracks, sewn in or glued in, and you leave your hair out and you flat iron this, right? And say, for example, you're natural and you got all of this braided up. And then every time you take it out, everything is all curly here, but this part is just keep being straight and you cannot get it curly to save your life. Most of the time, that the reason why that is because you physically changed your hair so much. You've blown it out and blown it out, flat ironed it and flat ironed it to where now it has no texture. And so now if you want texture, you have to create an artificial texture, which is like a roller set or a two-strand twist or something of that nature to give you texture. So in that case, yes, that could be a reason why there's a, why you're not a good quote unquote, or people are not a good candidate for traditional locks. You can still get an interlock. It takes a little minute. You got to get a little texture going on, but a lot of people with interlocks, you got a little more leeway when it comes down to that. So if you have any questions or anything like that, please put them in the chat. My MV concierge, Kim Blue, will be able to handle the questions and get them to me. I'm going to go ahead and go into the presentation so you guys can take a look at what I'm talking about. And if you have any questions along the way, please, 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 please do not hesitate to ask. I am here for it all. Okay. This is my jam. When I tell you I can talk about hair all the time, I can talk about hair all the time. So go ahead and put it in the chat. Like I said, thank you, lurkers, for listening in. If you're here, if you have any questions, you can whisper Kim Blue, or you can put it highlighted in the chat. You can also, just say it straight up if you want to. You don't even have to highlight it, but please highlight it so me or Kim can look at it. And thank you. So I'm going to just go ahead and keep it moving. So this is my front page, letting you know this is the ABCs and 1, 2, 3, 4s of hair texture. So we're going into the 1, 2, 3, 4s first. And so what this is you have, when you're going into the different numbers after the letter, okay? And I thought I would talk about this first before we get into the ABCs, okay? But the 1, 2, 3, 4s is, the 1 is a straight. That means it's a straight hair. 2 is wavy, okay? 3 is curly, and 4 is tightly curled, okay? So when you get into the letters will represent something else, which I'm about to show you. But the numbers are more specific because it gets into, each letter has these numbers behind it. So you have an A. You have the numbers. I'm sorry. You have the numbers and then the letters behind it. I apologize. So these are your numbers, and then you have the letters behind it. So everything that falls under 1 has its own ABC. Okay. 2 has ABC. 3 has ABC. Okay. 4 has ABC. And then there is, let me pause for a second because I don't want to get ahead of myself and give y'all too much. So let me come back and let me just be very generic with you all. Okay. So when it comes down to the 1, there is when you go in and you have to go, you'll see that. How can I break it down? I'm going to just show you. This is just it. Because I get excited and then I'll start talking ahead of this. So I just want you guys to just take a look at this first. Let's just marinate in this first. Okay. If you can see the pictures, okay, you can see, and hopefully I can. I wish I can. Let's see if I can hide myself. All right. So straight hair. Okay. There's no curl pattern. It comes right out of the scalp with no type of curl pattern at all. It's just straight hair. All right. Wavy hair, when it comes out of the scalp, it comes out wavy. Okay. Same thing with curly hair. Comes out curly. Tightly curled, comes out tightly curled. Okay. All right. So this is where we get into it. So I can try to make it make sense. Okay. So there's A, B, C. So you have 1A, 1B, 1C. Okay. And so if you have 1A, and A is fine, straight, glossy, shiny. It's a flat surface. So if you take like if when we get our hair flat iron, we want it to be straight. That's a flat surface. There's no texture in our hair. It's just straight up flat, okay? And when you get it flat, it appears to be shiny because it has no waves in it at all. So it's just it's just like when you look at, if you shine a light onto some hair that's straight, it's going to look shinier than hair that is wavy or curly, because when you got the dips that go in, that curve in and then curve out and then curve in and then curve out, the curve outs catch all the light. The curve ins don't catch any light. I hope that makes sense. And so that's why some people say, oh, I got this, when my hair roller set, or when I got a rod set or something, it just look ashy, or it looks or it looks frizzy and it doesn't look as shiny. I have to put a lot of sheen on my hair, all of these things, and it's not necessarily the case, but because that's just what it appears to be, to the people who that are regular consumers that's just learning about their hair. There's B. So this right here is like a spiral shape. It lays closer to the scalp. And when it says semi-oval, what that means is when it is put up under a hair strand, up under a telescope. And if you had to lay all three textures out, like if you took a strand of hair and pulled it out of someone's head, out of someone's scalp, and laid it flat up under a telescope, there's different looks of what that hair strand looks like. Okay. So that's why I put semi-oval on there. And so that's a little more technical, and but I wanted to put that out there because there are people who are, if you guys didn't know, there are people in our Twitch streets that are cosmetologists, and they are either formal or current, but they are out here. Okay. So I put that out there for them, or put this out there for them. There's big loose curls. The C is big loose curls, tightly coiled, spring-like and zigzag. Same thing. It's like a zigzag look, and you can kind of see that in the picture compared to the other two pictures. So sometimes it can feel like textured wool. All right, and that's just because of the texture itself. So far we went through the 1, 2, 3, 4s and the ABCs. If anybody have any questions about the two categories? Hey, Stirs. How are you, Shug? Thank you for coming in. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. All right. So we're going to go to the next one so we can put them. Now we about to mash. We about to mash and put this thing together. Okay. All right. So put myself up here so you guys can see me. Oh, nope. Not yet. So type 1. So here's 1, straight hair. Okay. All right. And so I'll show you in the next slide what the 1As look like, because this chart right here just shows you 2A, 3s, and 4s, right? And a lot of times people just cut to the chase and they just say 1 is straight, and that's that. However, there are some 1Bs and 1Cs that are out here. So 2A has a little more wave in it, and all of these pictures or these diagrams right here is what comes out of someone's scalp naturally, not chemically. This is not physically, like I was talking about physical change and chemical change. These are not physical change curls where someone literally put your hair on a rod, like a perm rod or a roller or a flexi rod or a pipe cleaner or anything like that. That is none of that. This is literally straight out of someone's scalp. People's hair, these diagrams show how someone's hair comes out of their scalp. So if you see any of these that you might think that falls up under you, or you fall up under, be more than happy to share in the chat which one you think you are. So we have type 2, 2A, 2B, and then you can see that when you get into the B's and C's, that's more textured up under the number. Okay, so like we were talking about, 1 is straight, 2 is wavy, 3 is and I'll show you so you can go back. We can go back. You see what I'm saying? So you got your 1. You got your 1 for straight, 2 for wavy, 3 for curly, 4 for tightly curled. 1 for straight, 2 for wavy, 3 for curly, and 4 for tightly coiled or curled. Okay. So if we're under here and we're wavy, then we have 3 categories up under the wavy section. We have 3 categories up under the curly section. We have 3 categories under the tightly coiled section. Does that make any sense? What I'm talking about? Hey, G-Class. How are you, Shug? Thank you for coming in. Welcome in to the Envious Hair Lounge. Happy Sunday. So Stirs has a question. He says, I have a question, but I'll hold it, I guess. That's fine if you want to talk about it. Oh, beard breakage. We are here for that. I can definitely do that. So I will answer shortly. Yes. So, but anybody have any questions right now with the hair type chart? Because I'm gonna get into the pictures and it kind of maybe can show more more detail because I have pictures, literal pictures of people's hair, so you can see absolutely what I'm talking about. But everybody are different types of we have different types of learners. So we got visual learners, we got people who learn by hearing better. We got people who have to touch things. So it just depends. But definitely wanted to show this diagram first before I get into the other ones. So here we go. So this is 1A. All right. So hopefully this gives y'all a better explanation, a better example of what 1A looks like. So most of the people who actually fall under 1A is like naturally. And when I say naturally, I mean, like I said, no physical change, no chemical change, straight up out their scalp. Majority of the people who get this naturally hair like this is like like Asians. And when I mean Asians, I mean like Koreans and we go over in there in China. But when you get into like, for example, but then you technically, they will call you Asian if you're, Filipino, you fall up under that, in the Asian descent. That wouldn't necessarily be someone. They do have people who have hair that comes out of their scalp straight, like 1A. But most of the time, like Koreans or people from China, things of that nature, though they actually, their hair comes straight out of their head, like straight. Okay. And so let me put myself up here so y'all can see me. So I used to cut hair. I still cut hair, but I used to like be a manager at like Supercuts and Hair Cuttery and Great Clips and the little salons that was in Walmarts and stuff like that. And so I have cut all types of hair. And Asian hair is so straight. It's literally like when you cut it, it's like cutting a broomstick, and literally like the straw itself is like sticking you in your skin. That's how like sturdy their hair is. Their hair also naturally takes a lot to color and a lot to like, and I'm going into chemical change now. When I was talking about the different ways of our hair texture to be able to change when it comes down to being changing chemically, I talked about physical and chemical change. Chemical change being where it can be changed by color, it can be changed by relaxers, it can be changed by a permanent wave, Brazilian blowouts, different things like that. And so when we're talking about people who have their hair straight 1A, it takes a lot for their hair to color. Because not only is their hair naturally come out straight like it does, they're the only majority that actually their hair is like black. Like we call our hair black as in African Americans, but we're really not. We're like darkest brown, and then gets into the medium browns and things of that nature. We fall in brown. We're not. Our hair is not black. I know it might look black, and you might tell people, oh, my hair is black. But if you literally go into a beauty supply store, and the next time you're able to go into some type of beauty supply store, go in there and literally pick up 2 bottles of hair color, and you can see it. Or if you ever been in there and you see the little curved hair that kind of like goes and it crisscross up under the bottles, look at the black and the brown, and you could tell the difference. It's a stark difference. We always fall up under darkest brown, which is like a off black maybe, but really is the darkest brown. We have brown tints in it. Like if you look on the picture above at the top, that is like black hair. But then if you look down at the bottom, you can see the browns in these 2 pictures down here. Okay, does that make sense? I hope so. So I'm gonna slow down. I'm gonna let y'all marinate on this. If you guys you want to take a break, or you guys got your notebooks, pens, you got some wine. It's Sunday. I done brought y'all to school. So we in school. I allow wine in my classroom. You guys can have wine. You guys can have water, coffee, tea, bring whatever. I have air purifiers for your smoke, and I don't do cigarettes or anything. But if you want the happy kind, you can bring that as well. So while we're doing that, having your time for that, I'm going to answer some questions. All right. So the first thing Stirs was talking about was beard breakage. Okay, so let's talk about this real quick. Okay. The longer your hair is, no matter if it's on your head or here, it needs maintenance. Okay. And it does need to be cleansed. Okay. So what that means is just more of, you can't go like 2 to 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 2 months without shampooing your hair. Okay. It needs to be cleaned. When you have a beard, it catches not only the elements of like just natural air and dirt, especially if you're out and you work outside. Okay. You can get all of this in your beard. Okay. If you eat, you're getting this in your beard. If you drink, you're getting this in your beard, and it's catching all of the things. And guess what you do? Either leave it there. I'm not going to say you specifically, Stirs. I'm just saying in general, people, they leave it in there, or if they wipe it, they just wipe it and they move on. Imagine someone who has hair and then they literally like has something to come on their hair and they just wipe it off. What would you do? Normally, you would actually go and shampoo that hair out. Shampoo your hair out. If you had something that spilled on your hair, you wouldn't want to just leave that on there, right? It's the same thing with your beard. So that's the first thing. Okay. Second thing is moisture and hydration. Okay. And so if you're someone that is taking care of your own beard, it's time for you to get into the products. Okay. Sorry, guys. My allergies are kicking my butt. So I will keep it simple, because there are different products that work for different people. When you're going into, even when someone is natural, I can't tell someone, oh, go get Jane Carter, because Jane Carter doesn't work for everybody. Or, oh, get Tali Wajid, because Tali Wajid doesn't work for everybody. But what does work is a technique that is called the lock method, LOC. Kim Blue, can you put this in the chat for me? L.O.C. Okay, lock method. And that does not mean that you're locking your hair. It is just a technique that I'm about to tell you. Okay. And so before I get into that, while she's putting that in the stream, I'm also going to talk about you need a regular trim as well, because that's what causes breakage as well. Just the same way hair on the head. So the lock method, LOC, is L stands for liquid, O stands for oil, C stands for cream. And my apologies, guys. My baby, Kim, she has she calls her dog head of security. I'm gonna have to figure out what I'm gonna call my dog. So he's kind of over here moving. So if y'all hear some things, that's my baby Kane. He's moving. But LOC, the lock method, L stands for liquid, O stands for oil, C stands for cream. And this is for, if I don't care if your hair is on your head or on your face. Okay, if your hair on your head, on your face, you all need this lock method, especially if you're natural. Okay, no, chemical free, shall I say? So the liquid represents a leave-in conditioner. Sometimes people go as deep as rainwater. Some people go in and do distilled water. Whatever your liquid is, that's your liquid. Okay. Then you have oil, which sometimes falls into like the natural oils that are out here right now. People say, oh, I use coconut oil. Oh, I use grapeseed oil. Oh, carrot oil, all these oils, right? But they all represent something. So it just depends. If you want shine, a nice natural shine, grapeseed oil works for you. You see what I'm saying? So, and that's just one of them that gives a good shine. That's not all of them. Then you have cream. Cream falls into like your cream conditioners, cream curl custards, curl defining creams, whatever the case may be. And so a lot of times I tell people to go to the dollar store and get a little jar with a top and get your cream and your oil, and do equal parts. Or you can do 2 to 1, where your cream is heavier, and then you got one part of the oil, and you put it all in a jar and you stir it up. You keep it in the refrigerator, and after you shampoo your beard, you get up in there and you get you a good shampoo. Now here's a good thing. Here's another little tweak too, stirs, while you shampooing your beard. When you have your cream, while you have your shampoo, take that cream and oil mix with your shampoo and mix it together and get in there and do that 2 or 3 times, right? And get in there and run your fingers through. Get up under here, up under your chin, okay? And go everywhere in there and get in there and saturate that stuff. Sometimes you might have to just that third after you shampoo everything and you come out, you towel blot and you put some conditioner on and let that thing sit on there for a little bit, okay? And then rinse it out with lukewarm to cool water. Hot water always can literally shock the hair. It's just like cold water too. And if you hot water and everything, it can be damaging to the hair. And that's a whole nother story. And I'm trying not to get too ahead of myself because like I said, I get excited. And you see, I done slowed myself down like 3 times already. So we gonna relax. This is a Sunday. But so hopefully that works for you. But what you do is once you do that, you do the conditioner, you rinse it out, and then you go in while you have the conditioner in. Hence, let me get you back. While you had the conditioner in, taking a wide tooth comb and combing through and getting in there and detangling everything, right? And getting used to detangling that, because I'm sure that if you're not really combing it like you're supposed to, which is every day, you should be combing and brushing every day. So it won't literally hurt when you're doing it. Then after you rinse it and everything, you can take a warm, as you can standard towel and let it sit. And you can give yourself, some people actually have they can get a steamer from Amazon that sits on the table, like a facial steamer. And you can literally let all of that steam and get all of that in there. So that can hydrate and really bring this hair to life, right? And so then after that, you can go in with a natural oil, okay, and a good curl custard, and just do a little bit, like maybe, depending on how much beard you have. I have not seen you in a while, so I have to take a look at you again. But depending on how much beard you have, depending on the size, from dime to 50-cent piece, where you'll take that cream and that oil and saturate it, emulsify it in your hands and run it through your beard and coming through like this. And then if you have any excessive, if you see any white sitting in your hair, and I don't care if that's on your top of your head or on the bottom of your head, if you have any of that sitting in your hair like that, just that means you got too much. And all you need to do is just kind of towel blot and get that in there. But then run your comb through there and everything like that and get all of that together, and then you're good. Some people have pomades. There's some beard companies that get more detailed, where it literally holds the beard in place. So whatever, after you done groomed everything, you can put that in there and it holds it in place, and you can go all day and it doesn't shift or anything. And it's not hairsprayed. It's just formed. You can literally, someone can touch it and it can still be in a good place, and it doesn't feel hard or anything like that, but it's in a good place and it's just there. So hope that answered your question in some ways. So breakage, getting it trimmed on a regular, okay? And what regular means is like roughly about every 6 to 8 weeks getting it trimmed. Or you can see it before. If you start seeing little fine strays that's coming out where it looks really thick here, but the ends look like they frayed and they just look thin, like you can see through it like a newspaper. Like if you could put a newspaper or a picture behind your beard and you can see through your beard, then something needs to be trimmed. Okay, so that's an example to a point to go off of as well. So trims and shampooing consistently and doing the lock method on your hair, and you can prevent some breakage. So let's go. You've been off your moisture game. That's why you're having breakage. Okay. Hot water. Yes, like I said, the only time you really need to be doing any type of hot water, shall I say, is through steam. Okay. Like a facial steamer, like getting facials or getting you a facial steamer from Amazon or some supply store or whatever, and getting some distilled water or some rainwater and putting it in there and literally letting it just blow on your face for like 15-20 minutes. That's going to be your best friend. Other than that, you need to be lukewarming it on your beard. Okay. All right. So Kim says, I use the lock method as a loose natural and it's amazing. It is. It helps a lot. What do we have here? Okay. So let's move forward. All right. You're welcome, Stirs. Thanks for being in here. It really means a lot. I really appreciate you coming in here. So this is 1A. Okay. So he says, so wash the beard with your face, not in the shower. Got it. Yes. Yes. Now, here's the thing. I wash my face in the shower when after I wash my body, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, or before, you know what I'm saying. I have my own stuff, my own cleansing stuff, and my own like separate rags. I don't play that, right? And so with my facial stuff, I do that in. So if you want to do that while you're in the shower, you can. You see what I'm saying? If not, but you definitely want to do it in the morning and in the, at night. Like whenever you wash your face, wash your beard. Bottom line. Okay. So, but the shower is hot though. Exactly. So, but what I do is, that's why I go ahead and I shower first and everything like that. And I, cleanse my hands and get everything together. And then I turn the water down to lukewarm. And then I go ahead and I take that time for my face, because the steam from the shower while you're washing your body is opening up your pores and it's getting in that beard and it's getting everywhere. And then after that, right before you get out of there, turn it down a little bit. You done washed your body, just step away. You just you leaning in to just get your face good. But if that doesn't work for you, no big deal. You can just go ahead and, do it at the sink. It's okay. Okay, so if anybody got any more questions, please do not hesitate. I'm going to go to the next one. So this is 1B. So we're still in the straight category. It just has a little wave to it. Okay. And so this is what it looks like. 1B, someone who has 1B texture. I know it looks like I have Caucasian ladies on this page right here. They're not the only ones with 1B hair. Like I said, hair texture is hair texture. Hair is hair. It's not no good hair, ain't no bad hair. It ain't no black hair, it ain't no white hair, it ain't no Asian hair. Like it. Well, Asian kind of is on their own to an extent, and it's certain, like I said, certain ones. But at the same time, like I said, hair texture is hair texture, because you can get a black person who have Asian hair as well, or a white person with Asian hair. It happens. Okay, so that's 1B. That's what it looks like. 1C is right here. This is where it gets a little, so we're still straight, but now we got a little bit more oomph in there. You know what I mean? And so this is always good. When you get into the ones, I always tell people there's two different types of products when it comes down to, or shall I say, it's two different ways to think of products when you're thinking about texture. So when you get into these ones, or these twos, or you get into these A's, right? There's two different types, and I always tell people, if you go to the supply store or you buy some shampoo or you buy some oil or some conditioner or whatever, if you can shake that bottle up and it sounds like a water bottle, like I have my water bottle right here. I've been drinking it all day. All right. I'm sorry from the beggar. But that's water, right? If you shake a bottle up and it sounds like that, that is the ones that are 70% water. Now, people who actually have a lot more curl in their hair, a lot more oomph and texture in their hair, that's where people start complaining like, oh, that product didn't work. It don't give me what I'm looking for. Those type of products actually work for the people who have a finer texture, who have the straight hairs. Because the heavier creams will weigh their hair down and it makes it look like their hair is just like greasy. Okay. So they need a water-based shampoo. So let's not knock the water-based shampoos, okay, or the water-based, products itself, like leave-in conditioners or the lighter texture conditioners or the lighter texture oils. But then when you get into the people who have the textures like they have, like when we get into the C's or we get into the 3s and the 4s, that's where you get into the heavier creams. And when you shake that bottle up and you hear like it goes like clunk clunk, and then you shake it again and you don't hear nothing, that's some heavy cream. And that's what you want when you have like and I'm doing this for beards, because most of the time people with beards, they got that texture. They need heavier creams. What's on your head, if you have that type of curl pattern that's really tight, coiled, like I was talking about in the previous chart, same thing. You want heavier creams for that. You want heavier oils for that. You want heavier shampoos. All of that you need heavier. Okay. So that's where it gets into when people are like, girl, you need to get, Talia YG work for me, or, Carol's daughter work for me, or I get Pantene, or whatever the case may be. And you're like, I don't even understand how they use that. That don't even work for me. Well, it gets back to texture. It gets back to texture. And that's why this is so important when we're talking about the ABCs and the 1, 2, 3, 4s of hair texture. If we know this, then we know what products to get. We know what kind of to lean into. And some people go and they do a whole brand. They'd be like, oh, I only use It's a 10. That's it. Right? But then you might not just use It's a 10. You might use It's a 10 conditioner, but your shampoo is this. Or It's a 10 of this, but your oil is that. Or you use Pantene shampoo, but your conditioner is Talia YG. And people are like, well, how you mix that? Because of the texture. Talia YG might have a heavier conditioner cream that Pantene don't offer. But Pantene has a really good shampoo that cleanses the hair really good and gives it a good shine, and it doesn't weigh their hair down. And maybe the Talia YG shampoo weighs their hair down. You just never know why people do what they do. But always, once you know your hair texture, you kind of can go in and figure out what products work best for you, so you can kind of save yourself some money, because going natural is expensive, and it's only really honestly expensive because we're not educated. You know what I'm saying? We just out here in these streets just winging it. You know what I'm saying? So Risque, hey boo, what's up? Welcome in to the Envious Hair Lounge. Thank you. Make yourself comfortable. Grab you a cigar or something. Grab you some wine. We got some hors d'oeuvres over there. Just relax. We just up here just talking about hair texture. Me and Risky, we had a little chat in the Discord, and he has locks, and I'm trying to get him down here to visit me so I can take care of his hair. Thank you, Risky, for coming in. I appreciate it. All right. So here we go. Kim asks, is it safe to mix? Are we talking about, is it safe to mix? What are we mixing? Let me know what we're mixing. If you're talking about the lock method, then yes, you can definitely mix. You can do them separately, or you can actually do them together. So let me know. Yes, Risky, I'm gonna need you down here so I can take care of you. We're gonna interlock them locks. We're not palm rolling no more. So you can actually your locks can last longer and you can live your best life. Okay, so we're gonna take care of you. So that's where we are with the ones. We talked about the different textures. We talked about beard care and how we need to trim it on a regular, and what kind of products we use, and steaming works, and for the beard. Be, Me and Stirs was talking about that. So, anybody have any other questions about hair texture or what someone has told you, and you may be concerned about it or have questions about it? Um, is there any myths, and maybe you think it's not a myth that you've heard, and about hair that you might want to ask about? Please put it in the chat. If you heard about, like for example, earlier we had Wu in here. I don't know if she's still in here, and she was talking about her hairstylist said that her hair didn't, she wasn't a good candidate for locks. And so, like I told her, I always tell you to trust and support what your hairstylist says, because they know you better than someone like me who only see you in these Twitch streets. I haven't seen your hair in person. I don't know your lifestyle. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what medications you on. I don't know if you have any type of, health issues or health concerns. I don't know any of that. So that all plays a factor. However, we were talking about, if after a while, after you blow dry your hair so much or you straighten your hair so much, you can cause a situation where your hair is physically changed to it being straight, or straighter than normal. And then that does not produce, you do not have texture to create a lock. We will have to artificially or manually put in texture for you to give you a lock. For example, Caucasians, the ones, we have Caucasians out here that actually have locks. And we probably wonder why their locks look so frizzy and why they look so unkept in so many ways. And that's because they fall up under, most of them fall up under 1As, 1Bs, 1Cs. And we have to create a more of a texture for them to actually, for their lock to really lock. Okay, so a lot of times when we're starting locks on Caucasians or people who that fall under the one category, we have to create a teasing method with a comb and really get in there and make it matted before we twist. So that's something to think about as well. So Stir says, is it safe to do shampoo and condition daily plus additional cream, etc.? My beard is multi-texture and seems to get dryish. Okay, so good question. So no, shampoo and condition daily, no, but co-wash is good. And what is co-wash? Co-wash, I don't know, Kim, if you can put this in the chat for me. Co-wash is just pretty much, and this is just a general way, but it's different ways, but I'm gonna give you one that's very simple. Co-wash is just conditioner and water. Okay. You don't have to co-wash every day. You can shampoo your hair, shampoo your beard once a week or once a week, or 1 week or 1.5 weeks. Okay. If you find yourself where 2 weeks work, that's fine, because what's happening is that you want the natural sebum, which is oil, to come through your scalp or through your beard, which is your chin, because it's in your, we get oily. I don't know if you have an oily face. That's another thing, Stirs. I don't know if you have an oily face. I don't know, like, do you have dry skin? Do you have oily skin? Do you have combination skin? Because that plays a factor. Because if you have oily skin and combination skin, then let that natural oil come through for a week or two and get in there. But while you're washing your face, you can always go in, when you're washing your face, you can go in with a little bit of conditioner on your beard and run it through real quick, and then rinse it out with lukewarm water and go on about your business. You see what I'm saying? If you're really oily, then you can just rinse your face. You can do your face, cleanse your face, and run your beard with just lukewarm water and call it a day, and let that sebum just get in there and do its thing. That can play a factor. If you have dry skin, then that's where you want to get into the co-washing, which is conditioning and oils. So you can literally do a conditioned oil mix with a little water. Condition that same cream and oil. When I talked about the LOC method, you're going in and you're actually doing oil and cream and you're mixing it together. And you can go in when you're, like, say for example, you're washing your face, you're getting all of this or whatever. You don't have to get in with that with your facial cleanser or whatever you're using. Me personally, black soap is your friend when you have a beard and you're washing your face, because black soap, and I'm talking about the natural raw black soap, is really good because it doesn't really strip the oils from your hair. And so you get up in there and it'll cleanse your face, but then it will not, this artificial stuff that they put in with all these preservatives and things like that that are in our products, that causes a situation where our beard can get, the beard can get dry. And so if you find yourself doing like a co-wash with the oil and the cream and really just getting in there and you just softening it up, if you don't went to sleep and you've been rolling around and everything like that, and you get up or whatever, put a little bit on your beard and then just comb it through a little bit and then rinse it out. And that's that. You can do that. Sometimes if you end up investing in that steam treatment, honestly, shoot, you can do that. You ain't got to, after you wash your face or whatever, just do like a 10-15 minute steam treatment or whatever, call it a day. You can do that every day. That's the bomb, or every other day. Ooh. But anyways, so these are just things, but I'm just throwing this out generally. This is general stuff. I would really have to take a look at your hair texture, especially when you said multi-textured. And this is what I'm talking about. Like, you could literally be like a 3B and a 2A in your texture, in your beard. You see what I'm saying? And so if that's the case, then you have to be careful about the creams and the shampoos and different things like that, because you have two different textures on your hair. You know what I mean? So this is the reason why we're talking about this, so we can have the general information on how we need to move forward with the products that we buy for our hair. So. All right, so let's see what we got here. So you stir says, yes, I recognize my natural oils. I actually was doing an informal co-wash intuitively while guessing. Awesome. See? And that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't mean to make this a thing, but I'm going to just shout my people out, because it is what it is. I'm going to shout my Black people out. We're resourceful by nature. That's just what it is. So a lot of times we be tweaking and playing around with things, and then we be like, oh, that works. So what I love is that as a stylist, what I say is, if it works for you, rock with that. Rock with that. Okay? I don't care what nobody talking about. If it works, that's fine. You can always confirm with a professional, but for the most part, if it works, then it works. Okay? And maybe what you're doing is not what you like, the products or whatever, the co-washing that you're doing, maybe not the issue. The issue may be you need a trim. You see what I'm saying? And so what I do is when I'm trimming beards, I go ahead and I mist your hair and I comb it with a wide tooth comb, and then I get a medium, like a closer comb. Sometimes wide tooth works, but sometimes you just need to comb it a little bit close, because we need to get up in there and really get up under there. Because a lot of times men will get this front part and you're wondering why this is like really long, but then up under that chin is like really close up like that, and you're ignoring this part. You need all of this to be. So if you got all of this is like tight curled, and then here is really long, eventually that long part, that's going to have to come off and match what's up under here. Okay? Because you need to be paying attention and really giving some attention to both parts, or this whole area. Okay? So if you know that you're tightly coiled back here, and it's like, it is, very tender when it comes down to detangling that, that's when you get into the creams and really get in there and saturate that stuff and really just work through slowly and get in there. But you need to get that through, because what you're doing is every time you combing that, or getting in that part right there, you're physically changing your texture because you're stretching it out every day to where eventually this part will match this front part. There's no, it's sometimes it ain't just because your hair texture is different. It's because of the tension that you're putting on this part right here. For example, young ladies who are natural and they have a afro and they keep putting it back in the hair bow, like a headband, and they keep stretching it out and stretching it out and stretching it out, and they wondering why their whole perimeter is very long, but back here is really tight because you're not giving the same attention. You need the same attention on both parts. So let's go ahead. Thanks, Risky. I appreciate it. Great info. Thanks. Thank you, Stirs. Hugs and love. So let's see. So we got I'm trying to do the Texture 101 class so we kind of know what's going on around here in these streets. So Stir says, what one kind of have one in the center of my chin, transitioning to some thick and curly. Paul Robeson, something on the side. Sir, Stirs. Paul Robeson on your sides. Texture with a slight A in the center. Right. Okay, so you're talking, I know exactly what you're talking about, where you literally like, it looks like this, like it's long on right here, and then in here it's like nothing right there. So what's happening is that if you literally lean your, when you get in the mirror, tilt your head back and really see, or have your, a friend or your lady friend or your wife or whatever, take a look and see if you have any hair growth in that part. If you have hair growth in that part, then what's happening is that your hair is growing like a cowlick out this way most of the time, or you need to get some more attention with this area back here. Okay. So if you find yourself going like that and it's doing that, a lot of times it is breaking. You have some breakage. And that's where you need to keep your ends trimmed. Keep that area trimmed like that. So want to keep that in mind, okay? Let's see what we got here. So let's move forward. I'm not going to be able to get all the slides, but I'll be back on tomorrow at 1:30. So we'll get into the 3s and the 4s. But we'll just kind of stop at the 2s, okay? So you guys can know. So this is 2A, which is still technically what did we say? We said that, and I'll go back for Risky so he can kind of add, and I don't know if Stirs if you was here. So this is the chart for all of it. Okay. So you guys can have an idea of what this looks like. Okay. That's the general overall view. Okay. So we'll talk about 3 and 4 tomorrow. Oh no, wait a minute. I'll talk about 3 tonight and we'll wait on 4. Tomorrow, you guys get to join me in the salon because I'll be doing my aunt's hair and you guys can see me interlocking her texture or whatever, but we'll be talking about what we talked about today. And then I'll kind of do like a Q&A maybe or whatever. And if y'all feeling it like that, then I'll come back on tomorrow evening sometime and we'll just finish up 4 so we can just go ahead and wrap this thing up. So y'all put a 1 in the chat if you want to, talk about it, if y'all want me to stream twice tomorrow, because tomorrow I got to stream at 1:30 and I'll be at work because I don't work on Mondays, but majority Mondays, I don't work on Mondays, but my aunt, that's her only day off. So every 8 weeks, I'm in the salon to do her locks. So with that being the case, and also on Tuesday, unfortunately, I have to go to Atlanta. My grandmother passed and I have to go down there to the funeral. So the people that were supposed to come on Tuesday have to come on the following Monday. So y'all will get 2 streams with me in the salon. So it'll be kind of like a Q&A and we'll laugh and hang out and all of that other stuff. But then we'll be back to this straight up formal, you about to get this work, you about to get this education, you about to get this knowledge, okay? And this is not just for women, this is for men too. And like I said, I've been talking to the men tonight, But I hope y'all take this to y'all lady friends and give y'all some get them some knowledge, honey. I'm telling you, yeah, honey, they're gonna be impressed. They're gonna be like, okay. So you'll be able to let them know what's going on, right? But this is how the 1, 2, 3, 4s look. So we've been in the 1 category first, which is straight. Okay. And so and then we've been in the 2, which is wavy. Okay. And so when we're in the A, and I'm gonna take this off so you can see this. So when we're in the A's, we got A's, B's, C's up under 1. So we got straight hair, that's straight hair. And most of that falls up under the ones I was telling you about, that people that are from China or people from Korea, just straight up black, straight hair that comes out of their scalp. The hair is black, and they're the only ones who have black hair, okay? We don't have black hair as African Americans. I'm sorry to tell you, okay? It's normally off black or natural black, aka darkest brown. Okay, just want to put that out there for the people. Okay, then we have straight hair that has a little wave in it, and then we have straight hair that got a little curl in it. Now, how you can say straight hair with wavy and straight hair with curly? What I mean by that is most of the time the texture is so there, as in that individual hair strand that you could literally, if you pop someone's hair strand out of their head and you laid it flat on the table, okay, that 1A will look bone straight, okay, and that goes back to here. That 1A will look bone straight. That 1B will look like this, and most of the time 1B and 2A is the same thing, and a lot of times 1C and 2B is the same thing. Okay, but this is the wavy category, even though type 2 is category. I give 1s they shine, because 1s need to have their own shine. This chart right here literally just said 1 is 1 and keep it moving. But I like to give the 1s they shine, because sometimes people who are straight are not always bone straight. You see what I'm saying? Like when we get into people who are Caucasians, majority of the time, they're not bone straight. Okay. They have a little texture. Might not be 3 and 4, but they got some texture. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to put that out there for y'all. So that's where it goes into the 1As that I was showing y'all. And the 1Bs. And this, you see the Caucasian girl over here? Her hair is slightly damp. Look at her scalp. If y'all can zoom in, you can see out her scalp, it automatically does a curve. It automatically pops right out of her scalp, straight up out of her scalp, straight up and out, straight up in a curve, right? It doesn't just grow out and go straight down her head like this young lady right here. And the reason why I show her, even though, we got a little caught, I liked her because she just, she pretty. But I'm going to show y'all a true Asian and how it come out their scalp. But if you see right here, you see how it don't come up and out. It just goes straight down. Okay. I show you over here to the right, over here at the bottom right. If you see how even a bone straight there, the ends are even. You see what I'm saying? Like you can even see that. That's how their hair comes out. But yeah, same thing, young lady, these ladies right here, even the young lady to the left right here with the white tank top. Look at her scalp, at her scalp. That thing comes up and out. It doesn't go straight down. So why not show the love to the 1Bs and the 1Cs? And that takes me to 1C, and this is what it looks like. So what we got? Thank you, Stirs. I appreciate the love. Yes, Risky Salon Days. Y'all will be in the shop with me. So yeah. You talking about 3 is never mind. Oh Lord. I'm trying to be good in here. Y'all can act up. I know who y'all are. Listen, I be in the streams with y'all acting up. Okay. That y'all see me. That's when my teacher hat is off and I'm having a good time and I don't want nobody judging me. Now when we over here, we in the lounge, you get your little cigar or something, you know what I mean? A little wine, a little cognac, whatever your vibe is, whatever your whatever rocks your boat. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, get a little hors d'oeuvres or whatever, and then in a little bit, these fleet my Envy Concierge about to get y'all in these Maybachs so we can go ahead and get on over to the next stream. And Miss Envy Concierge herself, you let me know where we going, because I know I see it's 15 minutes till us getting out of here. So those fleet of Maybachs will be pulling up shortly. So I want y'all to go ahead and last call for alcohol. Go ahead and get your last little puffs out, get your hors d'oeuvres, finish that up and all that good stuff and everything like that. And then we're gonna get up out of here in a little bit. So yeah, so here we go. So this is 1C. This is what 1C looks like. And so thank you. Yes, we appreciate your good behavior, because I know y'all be acting up, and I'm not saying acting up. So I am grateful for y'all doing that for me, because I know how y'all can get down. So, but I just want to let y'all know, I act up with y'all, so I don't want y'all feeling like y'all can't be in here being yourselves a little bit. So yes. So this is what 1C looks like. And so this is 2A. So that means that we're getting into the wavy hair, but still some straight in there. And they can kind of intertwine. Like I said, 1A, 1B and 2A kind of is the same texture. Same thing with 1C and 2B being the same, kind of the same. So they kind of interchange. But you can see what this looks like while I'm showing the pictures. Are we only showing women's hair? Today, yeah, because mostly women have their own, they have longer hair, so you can actually see it. The shorter the hair, it can also come off being a tighter coil. It can kind of disguise. You don't really know what you're really working with. But when the hair is longer, you can see more what the hair is trying to do. So yes, today we're showing women pictures of women, shall I say. So, but yeah, I show love to the men. I might have to do a little men's section. Well, today I showed all the love to the men. I don't think I talked really too much about the women's hair too much. I think we really leaned into y'all today, but I don't mind talking about y'all. And so one day I'll get me a barber or two on here to answer some questions for y'all. But until then, you guys just hang out with the ladies in the lounge, y'all like hanging out with us anyway. I don't want to be sitting around a whole bunch of men. I want to be up under us. You don't smell that fragrance? Don't it smell lovely in here? We done laid out the red carpet for y'all. Got y'all cognac and stuff. Got all your beverage of choice. We got you some nice hors d'oeuvres over there. You know what I'm saying? Good vibe, good view. You know what I'm saying? A little swag in here. You know what I'm saying? A little vibe. So that's all I'm saying. So let's see what we got here. Risky. So Kim answered risky. Texture is easier to show in women's hair. She will be showing men's hair too. Yes, thank you, Kim. Quick question. These grays, why do they gotta be so rambunctious and militant? Is it just how they are, or can they be brought back in line? Okay, so great question, Stirs. Gray hair is known for being like that. I don't care if it's coming out your scalp, out your beard, or anywhere. It's just known for that. That is just what gray hairs do. Okay, they're unruly by nature. Okay, there's you can try to condition, you can try to do cut, you can try to do whatever, and it won't do anything. The only thing that will somewhat maintain them the best way is coloring them. And even then, you might can tell a slight difference, but for the most part, you can't. And that's being chemically changed, as in like. And when I say coloring it, I'm talking about adding some hair color on top of it. So that's really where you can get where you're trying to calm it down. But if you're not into coloring, then I don't recommend men using men hair color for their hair. I know you probably like, what? Yes. Because mostly men's hair color is a vegetable dye, and it's very potent. And What black is really jet black. Excuse me. And what brown is has more reds in it, and it can come off reddish brown and muddy. So when it comes down to women hair color, you have a broader variety, like a huge variety, and you can work with that to where you can find your right niche, your real good smooth, that little sweet spot color where it doesn't look like you actually colored your hair like Jermaine Jackson. No shade. Let's see. Stars. So they won in so many ways. Yeah, they won, sweetheart. I'm sorry. That's why I always tell men who are graying in their beard, let it just do what it do. Because what happens is when it all comes gray, then it all, for some reason, it doesn't look like you have a rogue hair strand going here or a few rogue hair strands going there. If you're going to be rogue, let everything be rogue. But most of the time when they rogue, for some reason, when they come together and they with their people, then they come together. When you got some dark hair, some other color hair with the grays, for some reason, grays is going this way and the other color going this way, and then you're looking crazy. So, yeah. Okay. So, yeah. So that's 2A. 2C. Here we get into the texture. 2B. This is when we get into the more textures. Okay. So now we got wavy. This is wavy hair. And when I say wavy, because you got wavy, and you got wavy-ist. If that's just something that I want to say for everybody. But this is where, if you could take a look, you see, if you're looking at from the scalp, you can see it just coming up and out. All right, it's not coming, and it's not straight on, coming straight out the head like the straight hair. So that is what that looks like. Okay. 2C. Okay. Now we're getting into a little more texture. Okay. And so this is where people can kind of think our people kind of is feeling a little more comfortable now. They like, oh, okay, now we looking like this where I kind of flow. So here we are. Okay. This 2C, which is wavy, but with a tighter coil, a tighter texture. Texture itself is a little more coarser. Okay. So any question? I know, right? I like Sister Girl at the bottom too. Me too. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so we have to acknowledge, so when we get into the 2Cs right here, we get into this type of texture, this is where we get into heavier creams. However, she don't need the heaviest cream though, even though they're on the higher, or shall I say the more textured part of the 2 category, does not mean that they need to be on the heaviest part of the cream. However, they do need heavy cream. So there's some conditioners and some creams that are heavier than others. She would definitely need, when you see these textures right here, I start telling people to mix Moroccan oils in with their cream. Moroccan oils is like it's an oil that not necessarily penetrates, but sits on top of the hair, but it gives a nice shine, and it actually creates it's a silicone base, so it actually can help the curl pattern define more. So instead of it, like if you look up to the right, to the upright, or even to the left, both sides actually have texture that need a little more, a little more shine on it. Some people be like, oh, I need some shine on that. Then that's where you get into like the Moroccan oils and stuff like that. Okay. Could you just give me like 10 more minutes, maybe? Sorry, y'all. My dog, he's running out of patience with me, I guess. He decided I won't say that because he's playing with himself, but he's making a little. I apologize, y'all. I want to call him. He's doing it. He minding his business, but he over here in mine at the same time. So anyway, any questions so far? on where we are and what we've learned so far. Hey, Keitha, thank you for coming in, girlfriend. Welcome to the Envious Hair Lounge. We have beverages of your choice. We're about to wrap up this thing, though, because the fleet of Maybachs are outside. So if you want to grab you a little glass of wine real quick to just kind of sip on, chug real quick. But we wrapping up so we can get up there. I don't want you to miss your ride. And we got some wine in there. So matter of fact, just wait. You don't have to get none in here. We got some champagne in the Maybach. You can just get up in there and have a little drink or something. So question. I want to do two-tone color for my hair, but my job only allows natural hair color. What can I do? Okay, so here we go. If you decide you want to do two-tone, for you, Risky, because you have locks, we have a lock wax. It's lock waxes that are out there that give you different colors that you can put on for a temporary thing. However, it can really stay in the hair like that. So, and it takes a little minute for it to shampoo out. So, like, say, for example, if you off on the weekends, then soon as you get home on Friday, put a little bit on your hair, on your ends, put a little wax on your ends, put some gloves on, because it's very messy. But it's like a pomade kind of vibe. And you just put it on the ends or whatever. Don't saturate a lot because you got to get it out by Sunday so you can be to work by Monday. But put it on your ends or whatever, and you can have a look or whatever. And then by Sunday afternoon or Sunday morning, shampoo that stuff out. Like if you got, you did all your little swag on Saturday or whatever, and you want to maybe do some on Sunday, either way, early Sunday afternoon or Sunday evening, get in there and get a good clarifying shampoo and get in there and saturate and get all of that out of there and shampoo about 3-4 times. And then it'll be out. You can go to work. And then you can do it again when you're ready to do it again. But they have some waxes out there that look like they are, and I'll post them in the Discord so you can see what it looks like. That looks like your hair is colored, but it's not. It's like a wax that gives us a temporary color. I think I asked my share already. Thanks. Okay, cool. All right. Well, Stirs, I appreciate all what you asked today because you actually, hey, this was your show. We made it happen. It was the men's show tonight. I appreciate y'all coming through and being and interacting with me and asking the questions because I'm here for it all. Like I said, I can talk about hair all day. And when I say all day, okay? And all night, 24/7, I can do it. So, let's see. I'll let you do what you do when I come see you. Okay, that's fine. I will do that for you. However, you there and I'm here. I don't know. Maybe you need to, when you do it, maybe it's like a vacation time where you can enjoy like a couple days to yourself before, you have to shampoo it yourself. Now I can put it in, but you're all the way up there. You got to shampoo it out yourself if you're okay with that, Risky, But yeah, so everybody, let's get ready. I see the raid message up. The fleet. Now, this is how much I love y'all. The fleet of Maybachs is outside. Okay. Go on out there. All black on black, honey. Get on out there, honey. I don't care which one you get into. Get in there. If you want to ride with one, that's fine. Or you want to ride in one by yourself, it's okay. Get in them Maybachs, honey. All right. There's some champagne in there. A little more cheese and crackers for you if you didn't have enough of, hors d'oeuvres while we were talking. And we're going to get on up out of here. Kim, I don't know where you decide you want to go, but I'm with it. Wherever you feel like we need to go, that's where we're going because we rolling up on them. Okay, so. Didn't mean to do that. I'm trying to copy the raid message because I want to copy the raid message so I can roll up too, but I guess I don't know. I've done this from the desktop, not from normally with the iPad. I'm good. Maybe I need to do it from my iPad. All right, cool. I'm good. All right. So we'll finish this up because we got 3 and 4. But like I said, tomorrow at 1:30, I'll be on. We'll be at the salon and we'll just chit chat and answer questions then. And then if you guys want me to come back tomorrow night to finish up 3 and 4, that's fine. If not, we'll talk about it on Sunday. So everybody, let's wrap up because this lounge is about to close. Get in your Maybach. All right. Get you some champagne. And then we going over here. We ready to roll over to the next spot. Okay. What's some crystal? I ain't worried about the color anymore. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Risky. We need the monies, okay? We need the monies. We don't need no problems, okay? We need all the coins. All right. And so we're going to K Mac. Yes. Let's go to K Mac. Let's go to K Mac. I'm with it. That's my boo. Roll up on them. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much for the support. I appreciate it. Y'all have a fantastic Sunday. Vibe, chill out, enjoy your Sunday, and I will see y'all tomorrow at 1:30. Okay? You are my boo, Risky. You are my boo.